This is the grade guide to how Canvas does grades. I've set up my classes so that Canvas keeps the best 10 quizzes and the best 4 exams. In critical inquiry, Canvas is set to keep the best 10 assignments. In a class that has a paper with deadline options, such as the +5, the emergency deadline, and the 50% deadline, it's set so that Canvas keeps the best grade from these 3 deadlines. And in these classes with the 3 deadlines for papers, as I noted in other videos and content, you only have to turn the paper in once. You don't have to do the paper 3 times. There are 3 separate options to turn it in, and Canvas is set so if you only do one, it keeps that one. Now, unfortunately, Canvas keeps the best scores by dropping the worst scores, and it starts doing so immediately. For example, if there's a class with 30 quizzes, Canvas will start dropping 20 quizzes as soon as it can. And though this is correct, this can be misleading. To illustrate, imagine a student who has 100% on quiz 1 and 20% on each quiz for quizzes 2 through 21. Canvas will report their quiz grade as 100% correctly because it's dropping 20 quizzes. When all 30 quizzes are complete, or all the quiz due dates are pass, and Canvas grades uncompleted work with a 0 when the due date passes, Canvas will finally have 30 scores to work with, and the quiz grade will be finalized. Now, the finalized grade, assuming this hypothetical student just stopped after doing those 21 quizzes, could come as a shock, because once the deadlines pass and all 30 quizzes are being scored, they'll score quiz 1 at 100%, and of course 20% on all those other quizzes. So they'll see their quiz grade drop dramatically. But this is being done correctly. So a good question is, how do I avoid, this unexpected grade drop? How do I determine what my grade is at this moment, without doing a lot of math and stuff? Well, fortunately, there's an easy way to do this. Here's how to determine your current grade in Canvas. So the way to do it is this. If you go to your grades on Canvas, and you can uncheck this button here. This little box says calculate based only on graded assignments, and as you can see, this is a hypothetical example. This score is really good. Now if you uncheck this, it will grade based on all assignments, and so it'll give you a more accurate picture of your grade at that moment. Now, this is not to say that this grade is wrong. It's right, because Canvas is doing what it's supposed to do, but it can be, again, misleading because of the way Canvas drops grades. This can create the appearance of having a much better score than one actually has. And again, Canvas is not doing anything wrong. This is not a defect. It's just the way it does the math. So to determine your current grade, to see how it's going, just uncheck that button, and that'll give you your total at this point. And what this essentially amounts to is, when you uncheck this button, this would be the grade that you would get if you just stopped doing work. If you just said, no more exams, no more quizzes, no more papers, no more stuff, and that's what your grade would be. Now, once all the deadlines are passed, or all work has been completed, these 2 grades will be identical, because all the grades will be in. So when you're checking your grade to see how you're doing at this moment, and what would happen if you just stopped doing work, just be sure to uncheck that button. And you can check it again if you wish. Now, what about the classic question of, what do I need to get an A in the course, or whatever grade you happen to be aiming for? Now, fortunately, Canvas can generate what-if grades, and it has a what-if feature, and I have if you go to the grade guide on the Canvas course, there's a link to how to do this, and it says about how to use the what-if feature to see what your grades could be. Now, standard feature of my classes is I have 5 exams, and I count the best 4 out of 5, the 5th exam being the final. And people often ask, do I have to take the final? Which is always an excellent question. And to see if the final could help you, you can test this. You can do a what-if grade, put in a hypothetical 0 for exam 5, see what your grade would be. Then enter a hypothetical 100, just for exam 5, and see if this improves your grade in the course by at least a letter grade. If it does, the final could make a difference. If not, the final cannot. It's just math. Now, if you don't take the final, it'll automatically score as a 0 when the deadline passes, and that could result in, if you're not familiar with, this feature, that how Canvas drops grades, but if you're watching this video, you are familiar with it, then that could result in some surprises, because when that exam deadline passes, a 0 will go in, and Canvas will be keeping the 4 exams, assuming they've been done, and dropping exam 5. And that can result in a change in the grade, again, correctly. Canvas is not doing anything wrong, it's just the way it does it. There's also a complete guide to viewing grades. The link is here. Again, this is all in Canvas. This is the video of my grade guide, and you can view that to see how to view your grades. Now, the important thing to take away from all this is being aware of how Canvas drops grades, and being aware that if you have this box checked, this can be misleading, although correct, until the end of the semester when all deadlines have passed or you've done all the work, and to see what your grade is at this moment. If you were to stop doing any future work, uncheck this box. And if you want to see what your grades could be, the what if feature of Canvas is very handy. And so that concludes our look at the grade guide.